Just after Christmas, Andrew Kemmell was told he was being evicted.
Well, I was a bit heartbroken.
A disability pensioner after a workplace spinal injury, Mr Kemmell has packed his life into a storage unit and is preparing to lose shared custody of his 2 children. For nearly 2 years, his home in Hobart's northern suburbs has been one of hundreds of Tasmanian properties subsidised through the National Rental Affordability Scheme. That's now ending, and the rent is going up.
Well, I did a search and there's nothing. There's nothing at all at that sort of price that I can afford.
Mr Kemmell will become one of an increasing number of homeless Tasmanians.
The only option I've got is I've got camping gear. It's just to, go to a caravan park and sleep in a tent.
For those Tasmanians who are living in a tent, who need a home, it is unacceptable that we are not able to provide that.
3 years ago, the state government convened an emergency housing summit. It followed a state election campaign dominated by stories of working families facing homelessness and images of Hobart's showgrounds as a makeshift refuge.
I think we're hitting another crisis.
Right across the state, we've got more on offer now for people who find themselves in acute housing need than we've ever had before.
Hobart and regional Tasmania remain the most unaffordable areas in the country.
I would say that the difference is that now it's more spread around Tasmania and it's not just focused on Hobart, as was the situation in 2018.
3 years on, the figures are stark. The public housing waiting list's up 9% to more than 3,500 people. Median rents up 22%, and vacancy rates across the 3 major centres remain extremely low. House prices have also risen rapidly. They're up 14% in Hobart, 21% in Launceston, and a whopping 28% in Burnie. Several Tasmanians struggling back then are no better off. Allied health professional Fiona first shared her story in 2019. She was facing homelessness when her rental was taken off the market. 2 years on, she's unpacking again after her 4th move in as many years, still stuck on the rental merry-go-round.
I thought it was a crisis then, but we had no idea what was going to happen.
Her rent's risen $180 a week.
It was my 24th application. I'd made about 3 private applications. I inquired and inspected about 40 places. I don't care. I see broken floor, I don't care. I see mould, I don't care. It's got a roof, I'm applying.
The Tasmanian government walked out of the summit promising change. More than 700 lots of public land across the state have been made available for housing. But no homes have been built so far. 22 families were housed after a review of Housing Tasmania's portfolio. And there's now clearer data from short-stay accommodation companies, but concerns about their impacts remain. Housing advocates say there's been some success, but much more is needed.
What we need now is to see a big boost to our social housing.
The government's promised to build 1,500 additional social housing properties by mid-2023. Shelter Tasmania wants that ramped up to 10,000 homes in a decade.
At the moment, we believe that the building sector in Tasmania is about at capacity. This government has intensified its investment and has currently got $300 million of investment in our budget. We're pulling every lever we can right across the market to provide more supply and capacity to meet demand.
Those living through it are calling for new solutions.
Let's think creatively about having some capping on rentals, having subsidies for people on rentals, because building new houses, there's way more people, and then building new houses is going to help right now.
Well, I'd like the government to, do it, either reintroduce these schemes or have a scheme there that's, affordable.
In the meantime, Tasmanians like Mr Kemmell face a hard road ahead. Alexandra Humphreys, ABC News.